Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be reviewing the Asics Novablast 5 after 100 miles of running. So this is my initial review and let's get into it. Okay guys, so I purchased the Novablast 5 back in February, towards the end of February. So I've been running them almost every day for about 3 weeks now. And since then I've put just about 110 miles on them. I've done runs ranging from 1 mile, just like a 1 mile easy jog, to all the way up to a 30-mile long run, an ultra marathon long run. So I've really put these shoes through their paces and I really do have some opinions on them. So let's get started with the specs. According to the Asics website, the Novablast 5 have 41.5 millimeters of stack in the heel and 33.5 millimeters of stack in the forefoot, giving them that, sweet 8 millimeter drop, which everyone loves. And the shoe comes out to about 255 grams, which is 9 ounces, which puts these in a very light for a max cushion daily trainer. And although the Novablast line has not always been looked at as a max cushion line, just because the stack is above that legal limit of 40 millimeters now, it certainly is now a max cushion shoe. So I got this teal colorway in these, this all teal, and I've seen these online and I wasn't sure about what color I wanted to get. I think Asics always does so well with these colors. Like, this is a beautiful shoe. It's kind of like a Tiffany-esque blue, like if you're like a sneakerhead, like in the Nike Tiffany Dunks and whatnot. I think this is a similar color. It looks really good. So I would definitely, if you're going for an Asics shoe, these bright colors, you can't go wrong. And they also did release a track pack or something like that, like more classic blue and white colorway, which I also do like. But I think whatever color you get in the shoe, you can't go wrong. All right, so let's start talking about the midsole feel of the shoe. So the Asics Novablast 5 have this new FF Blast Max midsole, and it's a combination of soft and springy. I think those are the two words to describe it. It's certainly much softer, as you can see here if I just even push in with my thumb. It's certainly much softer than the Super Blast 2, which is, another Asics shoe which uses this FF Blast, some variant of that foam. So these are definitely much softer, and they are springy. I've used them on, like I said, a variety of runs, and they really do shine at that everyday cruising pace, your easy pace, even down to your easy pace. I think they're great for that. And they're very smooth. I would say that the one word to describe this shoe is smooth. From the heel to the forefoot, there's no clunkiness, like just nothing outside of that smooth heel to toe ride, which you get. And this forefoot rocker is really great at propelling you to the next step without encouraging you, to go too fast on your easy runs, which is great. So I love these for my easy runs. I've been reaching them for easy runs, everyday runs, recovery runs even. When I have, when the legs are sore, I think they're super great for that. And although they do encourage you to go a little bit fast and a little bit forward, by no means are they like running an easy run in a super shoe where it's significantly helping you. I think they're just giving you a little bit of push, and it really just, all it does is help the legs out, which I really love. And one thing to note is that this shoe is definitely soft. The Novablast 5 are soft. Compared to a very extremely soft shoe, one of the softest shoes you can get, the New Balance 1080 V13, these are firmer than that. But according to a shoe on the firmer side, like let's say the On Cloud Monster or the Asics Super Blast 2, the Novablast is softer than that. So I think this really hits the Goldilocks sweet spot of soft and firm, which I really do like. And it makes it all the more you wanting to pick it up every day because it doesn't fall on any of those sides of an extreme, which I love. All right, next we can talk about the outsole, which is one of the most controversial parts of the Super Blast line. As you can see, mine here is all caked up in dirt and whatnot. It's pretty dirty. But one thing that everyone complains about with the Super Blast is its grip, especially in the wet weather. And they say, you're slipping around, the traction isn't great. And I've actually found it not to be an issue at all for me. I've run on basically on wet pavement almost every single day in these, just because I don't know, our roads are usually wet, sidewalks are usually wet. So when I'm running on the wet sidewalks, wet roads, I've never had an issue. Like I've never had my feet slip out under me, maybe because I'm not doing speed work, but I don't think it's an issue. And I've even done one run in monsoon rain almost. It was insane, and at no point did I feel unsafe in these. So I think no one's really going to be racing in these, and even if you are, I think you'll be fine. But they do perhaps lack a little bit of bite against the pavement that you would maybe get from a Nike Pegasus, which has way too much outsole rubber, but it makes it grippy. These aren't like that, but I don't think it's a hindering factor at all, and it should not discourage you from not buying the shoe, because I think it's such a small thing, and even if you live in a wet area, you'll be perfectly fine. It's definitely not an issue. And then next on this outsole, we got this center part, which is the Asics trampoline, and I think that is got to be the best part about the Novablast, because you go through this heel motion, and when you're stepping forward, this trampoline part propels you forward. It definitely does. And even when the fronts, usually on most shoes, when you're rolling up towards the front, you're losing a little bit of that cushion, and your toe off doesn't feel as powerful as it normally does. But with the trampoline on the bottom, it really does help, and I think I feel it more than the same trampoline than I did in the Super Blast. So I think that they did a really excellent job with that. So that would be the outsole, and otherwise nothing super notable. They do a good job with rubber coverage, where you only need it in the area, certain areas of the shoe, and it definitely does save some weight. So good job on Asics with the outsole. Okay, next let's move on to the upper of the shoe. So the upper is just a simple engineered mesh knit type upper. It's very breathable. You can see through it a little bit. I actually like it. It's nice and snug to my foot, not too tight though at all. And the toe box is nice and roomy, somewhat, so it's nice and comfortable for extended periods of time. I've run up almost for 4.5, 5 hours in this shoe, and I've never been ow, my foot hurts, because the upper, I think it's perfectly fine. The heel is very cushioned. Actually, one of the more cushioned heels I've ran in just ever, really. Lots of good cushion here, but it does not come at the cost of heel slippage at all, like the Nike Pegasus, the Nike Invincible. I've run in those before, and it's just too much cushion in the heel, and my heel would not stay in the shoe. But this year, heel really sits in, and it feels great, so I love that. They did a great job with the heel of the shoe. And the upper is overall excellent. Next, we can go on to this the tongue. You can see the little padding on it. It has the little Asics branding over here, and then the Novablast 5 branding on this side of the shoe. And I love the tongue. It's nice and soft. It's a gusseted tongue, fully gusseted, except for this little part in the middle, and I think it's excellent. If you're wondering why I have a little rip over here in the upper, I just tripped one day, and my foot, I guess, dragged along the pavement, and I ripped the upper a little bit. But that's no fault of Asics. It was just me versus the sidewalks, and the sidewalks won. But overall, upper, no issues at all. I think it's great. Okay, lastly, the durability after 110 miles in these. I know it's a little bit early on, and I'll put crazy mileage in these shoes and then review them one more time before I retire them. But durability wise, so far they're doing great. We got no visible wear on the outsole, which I love. This foam here, I think it got slightly cut up because of the rocks and stuff the pebbles and stuff I was running on the towpath during my long run. But other than that, it's all good. Really, really excellent. And the midsole is holding up great. There's a little bit of creasing, but I think because of the geometric shape of this midsole, it has a little bit more structural integrity, and it holds together great, which I love. So overall, my thoughts on the Asics Novablast 5 after I've run 100+ miles in them is I think these are one of the best daily trainers you can get on the market right now at that $140 price point. There's so many options from every single brand. But when you compare these head to head with any brand at $140, I think this is the best that you can get right now. Versatile, springy, soft, smooth, reliable, durable. Like I can't really call out any huge complaints other than maybe the outsole grip, if that's something you really care about. But honestly, no issues whatsoever with these right now. I really love them. Oh, one more thing to note, I do have these in a heel lock just because I put all my shoes in a heel lock, but by no means does it mean that the heel is slipping. I think it's not an issue at all. But yeah, I would highly recommend these for if someone's looking for one shoe to do it all. I have a rotation of shoes, and I'm still reaching for this almost every day, just because it gives me that ride where I'm like, this is always comfortable, and I've never felt uncomfortable in it. And I would highly recommend these, and I will do a head-to-head comparison versus the Super Blast 2, but a little spoiler, I think these do take the cake at $60 cheaper, which is pretty insane. So excellent job by Asics with the Super Novablast 5, and yeah, I do love these. So thank you for watching, and I'll have another video coming out soon. So thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.